Hi, Jacob here from Decide Crypto, and today we're going to be taking you through Tradove. We're going to be performing an end-to-end ICO review using our internal 39-point checklist to determine whether we should buy or pass on this ICO opportunity. So let's jump right in. Before we do, I might just clarify, we are providing this information for educational or informational purposes only. Decide Crypto, myself, or any of its representatives are not financial advisors. So please take your time, go and speak to your financial advisor or trusted professional to determine if the information today is relevant or applicable to your financial goals. So with that in mind, let's jump right in. It does need to be clarified that we do perform in-depth analysis on each and every ICO coming through the pipeline. So in January 2008, we've obviously got a lot on our plates. There's a lot coming through the pipeline, but we do still perform our 39-point ICO checklist. Okay, so jump over to Decide Crypto, so www.decidecrypto.com. You can subscribe to this checklist in ebook format, and then join into our newsletter, which the same process allows you to be updated weekly with ICO reviews, alerts, and any of our in-depth recommendations. We go a little bit further than we do here on the YouTube channel in our Decide Crypto newsletter. Okay, so this checklist breaks down what we'll be going through today, looking at the relevance of the ICO, the blockchain and the business, the upside, the blue sky opportunity or lack thereof, any competition, how the coin will be integrated with the business, and how relevant that is to the performance of it, the team, the advisors, their previous track record, and the strategy and the ICO itself. Okay, so this is a detailed checklist. We are all in this together. I do need to say that our success is your success in many cases. We do try and help each other out. So we have had recent great success in the crypto space. That's why we're sharing the love. We do feel like we're all in this together, so that's why we're happy to reveal and open the hood up with our 39-point ICO checklist. Let's jump right in. Tradove, pre-sale on currently through to the 31st of January, then the crowd sale begins. It must be noted there is a $52 million hard cap, so it's 2 or 3 times larger than most ICOs coming through the current pipeline. It is up to about 17 million within the of that cap has been already allocated in the pre-sale stage, so it has the potential to sell out within this pre-sale. I would define and sum up Tradove as business identity and interaction. Okay, so people think of the incumbent in this space as LinkedIn. It is thought of as LinkedIn on the blockchain, but it goes one step further. Where LinkedIn connects employees of businesses and allows them to network, Tradove is one step higher. It's allowing businesses to connect and interact together via the employees underneath, but more directly the actual businesses themselves. So they define and describe themselves as the largest and most trusted global business network. We will note there is a 20% up to 30% bonus in this pre-sale stage, bringing the cost per coin down to 12 cents. So it is a line ball. Monitor this closely over the next few days. If it is starting to get up towards the $52 million hard cap in pre-sale, that might be the best time to buy, but more on that later. All right, our first area of assessment using our 39-point checklist is relevance and upside. So we can see here Tradove has scored well, 5 out of 7. In this part of the process, we are asking ourselves a few questions. Is the coin itself useful and provide security, trust, and utility to the users of the Tradove platform? And in this case, we do feel that it does indeed do that. One of the potential downsides of LinkedIn is that employees tend to potentially exaggerate or have some factual mistruths on their profiles in order to build or increase their network and reputation. When businesses are doing business with each other, building that network, trust is the key. Tradove, using blockchain technology, does look to improve that trust and provide resilience around what people are, what they're saying they do, and who they know, that network. It's some integrity there, right? So, look, in doing so, Tradove is obviously in a space with a large incumbent. The elephant in the room is LinkedIn. I will make this distinction very early on. LinkedIn does focus on employee to employee relations, not so much business to business. But in this space, integrity, transparency and security is the key. Okay, so LinkedIn, to compete directly as a competitor with Tradove, would need to make two distinct pivots. They would need to recognize the importance of the blockchain for this transparency and trust. They would need to then pivot towards it there once, and then they would need to make a further pivot towards fostering and focusing on the business-to-business relationships, which they're not so much doing. So in this example, there is relevance and the upside is pure. There are two distinct pivots for the large incumbent in this space. Before we go on to the competition in this space and the coin itself, let's take a quick look at the homepage for Tradove. Okay, obviously when you load this up, you're presented with information about the sale first and foremost. I will draw your attention to the interviews with two of the key advisors on the Tradove team, Mike Honda and Richard Rosenberg. Those guys in these interviews give me confidence that the doubt surrounding this ICO in online Reddit, Telegram, Twitter world is unfounded or potentially exaggerated. It's creating a doubt or risk associated with this ICO that potentially, based on these big heavy hitter advisors with lots to lose on their public opinion and reputation, putting that reputation on the line to back this ICO and underlying business gives me confidence that the concerns around this ICO are unfounded. Obviously, there's no guarantees. ICOs can be a minefield, but in this regard, these advisors give me that confidence to move forward with the due diligence. Okay, so let's do this. You've obviously got a white paper. You've got a lot of information about what problems the business is trying to solve, the utility provided to the end users, and a little bit about the competitive landscape. Do take the time to go into that white paper and delve in. Further noted, we are dealing with an established business. They have many and evolved relationships with some large institutions and enterprises on a global scale. That is the baseline. We need to ask ourselves, is competition in this space real and present and providing danger to this business executing on its roadmap and delivering us value as part of this ICO? It must be noted that this is a first of its kind in the crypto space. Business to business, LinkedIn type competitors are non-existent in the crypto space. We need to then define, there are two pivots required for the large incumbent LinkedIn to directly compete against this business. So we have a running start, but there still needs to be intrinsic and scarcity drivers attached to the ICO and the coin. There's no point raising capital as a business coming out here into crypto world, performing an ICO, raising money against a coin that is not needed or have intrinsic value. We need to ask ourselves the question, in this case, very carefully, because Tradove is an established large enterprise. It's already operating. They may be going through a round of capital raising and hitting some current brick walls. They might be turning towards ICO world to create a coin to bring that capital into the business without providing any intrinsic or scarcity drivers or value to the business. We need to ask ourselves this question very seriously. I have answered that in the positive in this scenario. I've given Tradove 4 out of 4 in our competition and coin analysis. We do feel that there is a tight bundling of consumption and usage of the platform and coin scarcity. Okay, so that is using the trust, leveraging that trust, the intrinsic value of the blockchain into the business with the B2B relationship. So in simple terms, the more businesses involved, and there already are large enterprises involved in this business, the higher intrinsic value that the coin has to enforce that trust relationship. That is then going to potentially be compounded looking at the white paper and the future roadmap for Tradove via a trading platform. So businesses are not just sharing information and trust and employee relations, they are now trading via a coin and facilitated via the coin amongst each other. This is intra-border, across the globe, trade between businesses using the Tradove BBCOIN. So lots of intrinsic value and scarcity drivers attached to that usage via trade. This is obviously blue sky. They've got a number of elements or roads to cross in their roadmap to get to this stage, but it is part of their future projection. Another intrinsic or scarcity driver attached to the coin would be their advertising model they're looking to roll out, and then also rewarding users for attention on or interaction on those advertisements. So the further businesses get integrated into the platform, the more trade attached to it, which is a big blue sky juicy goal, but very difficult to potentially get to, which we'll talk on over in a moment. Advertising might be a short step in the middle, where if businesses are getting involved in the platform, advertising, capturing that market share via this advertising model, that will then create this intrinsic value on the coin. So that's an important thing to reach for. Is it a stretch? Will the team or track record give us confidence in delivering? We'll jump right in now to determine our resilience around that. So we feel the team and advisors, we do have 8 out of 9 here, which is an excellent score, is absolutely top-notch. Strong and experienced team and advisors. Okay, I move things around a little bit for us. We have smart alignment, I suppose, with key advisors, in touch with public policy and institutional channels. As far as our example here, the advisors are not forced. They are strategically placed to further this business's network and opportunity. Okay, so this is key to our checklist. Are the advisors relevant? Have they had demonstrated experience? And are they going to further the business plan and roadmap? In this case, we do feel that high likelihood of occurring, and the team is top-notch. They do have the skills, etc., to potentially drive towards that bonus world, which I suppose is the trade and advertising part of components of the platform, and compete at a high level against the real-world incumbent pressure from LinkedIn. Let's jump in really quickly. We have just pulled this off the homepage. We've got the list of advisors and team members here. We do see that they are linking directly to the LinkedIn profiles, which is obviously a positive. We have got lots of large insto enterprise experience amongst the key heavy hitters. So I do give a lot of precedence to the top 3 in any business. They've obviously aligned these in order for a reason, but I do get confidence around the IT architecture layer of experience from Salesforce, Amazon, IBM. Obviously, George is an A-level candidate in senior IT architecture. We do need this as part of the team, obviously, and to see that they've already hired into that is great. Good experience across the board here at lower level developers. We have, once again, heavy hitter insto level experience with Kent, Matt, and Gian. Let's jump into their profiles now, because Kent has been in this field as a developer engineer going back to Pepsi in the 90s, Deutsche Bank, obviously 2 very large businesses, into the pharmaceutical world with Bristol Myers Squibb. Very large enterprises at a management level. He's left to go to private enterprise, and he's been obviously founding and CEO of his own enterprises for almost 20 years. So great track record and experience. We have a large network and graduate of MIT. We have Gian, Director of Engineering. Okay, so this is a little bit of a concern, something to moderate in our consideration. He has currently dual responsibility. So he is working for Tencent as a separate enterprise whilst he is product development blockchain for Tradove. That is a little asterisk. We need to investigate that potentially further. But in regards to, he is an A-list heavy hitter, Director of Engineering with Alibaba, great experience, Senior Engineer with Yahoo and Microsoft. So impeccable record there. Long time in the game. Matt, once again, dual responsibilities, but extensive enterprise level experience in sales, vice president level at an America-wide position. Once again, top tier A-list candidate. The advisors, as mentioned once again, we've got former Chairman CEO of Bank of America, CFO of Morgan Stanley, former CEO of Siemens, retired US Congressman, absolutely top tier. You would get confidence that these advisors will open doors and progress the roadmap white paper forwards towards that trade, inter-border trade B2B platform and model. So they do need to have these heavy hitters to do that. It is a big, lofty goal, but with these guys, it's giving me confidence that they can get towards it. All right, let's break it down really quickly. Track record already is great in the real world. When I say the real world, they have already developed relationships with large enterprise. I am rating this 6 out of 9, so it could be better because they have not integrated blockchain technology as yet in their current prototype real world application. So they haven't done that. I do like to see very strongly that they have started to integrate blockchain into their current offering, and we can touch and feel that. As yet they haven't done so. It is in the roadmap for next step. But blockchain definitely is obviously very important to this business and the utility it provides. They do need this very quickly to move forward and execute and deliver value for this ICO. The ICO strategy itself scored 7 out of 10, good to very good. Large established platform already in operation. Insto integration already. No blockchain integration to date. I will repeat that. No block integration to date. We do have reasonable scarcity. We have a reason for a coin just delivering the trust and integrity to the B2B relationship. But this roadmap really is going a lot further than that. Blue sky is very high when we tackling and touching on the trade and advertising components of their platform. The intrinsic value and scarcity will be off the charts if they can do that. The coin will be very strongly needed and drive that upwards, which is why we're obviously investing. Look, let's just summarize this because the pieces of the puzzle need to make sense. They need to combine together to amplify our trajectory for this ICO. The blockchain usage of it is needed. It's a big tick. We need more rollout. We need to transfer the current business and evolve that to increase our intrinsic value. There is a linkage between doing that and intrinsic value in itself. There is strong scarcity-driven drivers associated with the coin by executing against their roadmap. It's not just for fluff. And this is big, lofty goals. It's potentially difficult entering into the trade and advertising environment. Their team and advisors are A-grade. It's giving me some confidence that they could execute on this and deliver us our blue sky, very high trajectory results. There is network effect. The team is going to amplify this, and there is a lot of traction already. And a roadmap towards scarcity for this coin. It's ticking those boxes. Trajectory looks to be great. Should we invest in this ICO? Okay, so please take the time to comment below with any questions. I really want to get engaged in a conversation on this ICO now, today, so we can make a decision together, help each other to decide whether we're going to invest. Okay, if you'd like more information about our 39-point checklist, download that ebook over at www.decidecrypto.com. You can get involved via our weekly newsletter over there at the website. Subscribe to that, get the ebook and any up-to-date alerts, information or in-depth reviews above and beyond what you see here for the coins mentioned. With that newsletter, we're asking and answering the important questions. So how to best invest in this ICO? When? Pre, crowd, or potentially wait for the dip if it is going to dip or we feel it might on listing on exchange. How much to invest? We find it very important to determine our unit amount. This is a term that we're going to be using a lot ongoing at Decide Crypto. How much to invest in each ICO? We look at risk, we look at reward, and we assign a unit amount to each investment. And the strategy once again, so buy, flip on, sell on purchase, or hold a long term, or buy on listing. They are the answers that we'll be giving via our weekly newsletter over at www.decidecrypto.com. But for now, obviously it has scored very well throughout our stages of our checklist. 30 out of 39 is a buy recommendation. Okay, please get involved in the conversation. Let's help each other via any questions below this video. Also hit the like button. We would really appreciate the positive feedback. So once again, thank you. That is a buy recommendation from Jake here at decidecrypto.com.